Secluded Springs is almost over, bro. I know a lot of people don't like this meta, bro. Especially in ranked, dude. Like, the ranked meta is just abysmal, bro. It's basically Suicune and Darktina 24/7 with those side, like, options mixed in, dude. There's, like, random anti-meta decks. You know, you get, like, that one egg every 10 games, dude. You get, like, the Guzzlords, you get the Flareons. But for the most part, it's Suicune, Darktina. However, tournaments, bro, at least there is a little bit of spice that can make it to the top 16, top 8 range, dude. Slash just top cut in general, bro. We have 2 tournaments. Let's look at some of the meta reports from both. The Frog EX tournament, bro. Thank you guys for still hosting tournaments, by the way, because you are like the biggest tournament series that is not on the weekend. And for the second tournament, dude, we have the Jeudy Coliseum, which is like our new weekend tournament while Ursi is taking a break, dude. Hopefully, you know, whenever she does decide to come back, hopefully both of these tournaments can still coexist. Maybe one of them gets changed to a different day or something. However, Jeudy, bro, big man Jeudy stepped up, bro. One of the best content creators for Pokemon Pocket. I feel like if you follow me, you probably follow him. But you can find him on YouTube as just Jeudy. Around like 300 players, you know, just a new tournament, bro. Basically trying to take up the slot that Ursi Day used to be. And yeah, we're gonna be looking at the meta report and some of the standings and some of the deck lists from these 2 tournaments. Okay, let's just start with Frog EX, bro. Let's just go straight to the meta game, as you can see here. So we have Suicune Greninja. What a surprise, 28% of the share, dude, almost 30%. Second place going to be Darktina. And then those other decks, either always going to be something like the Guzzes, the Flareons. Surprisingly, Buzzwole, bro, was like 6th place. I feel like that was kind of like an anti-meta call, bro. Maybe try to like counter Darkrai, expecting more Darkrai's to try to counter Suicune or something. And then, you know, we have that baby deck, dude, aka the Darkrai Arceus. Something to note here, though. There is something to note. The Decidueye EX, 4 players brought it, had a 66% win rate, as well as 4 Skarmory EX players with a 57%. Obviously, these are low player numbers, so like if a couple of them did good, the win rate was going to be really good. But 2 decks, you wouldn't think to see, dude. You just had an absolutely crazy win rate. And then even something like Dragonite EX, dude, which is a very bricky deck, had a 50% win rate. Obviously, Buzzwole 42. I don't think Buzzwole is good in this meta. You know, can be an anti-meta deck for something like Darktina, kind of, and like obviously Guzzlord. Flareon did really good. Darktina actually didn't do the best, but that's basically the metagame, dude. And we can even move on to playing the win and just see what basically the top cut metagame also looked like, because this is like the whole tournament. Playing the win, dude, we had a 32% share for Suicune, which was even higher than last week, because I think last week was maybe I'm capping, but I feel like last week, I mean, no, maybe it was higher last week. I don't know. Just a lot of Suicune Greninja, dude. No surprise, it's the best deck with a 67. The Darktinas that actually didn't make it into the top cut had a 67% run rate. So like we just saw the 48. So overall, Darktina had pretty low, but the ones that made it the top cut really stepped up. And then we had like 6 Guzzlords, dude. So a bunch of the Guzzlords made it because there wasn't that many Flareons. We had 2 of the Decidueyes and 2 of the Skarmory. So basically the player base got cut in half, but both of them still made it. We had this Lucario Him on top, which is crazy. Altario, Oricorio, stuff like Garchomp, Jumpluff, Zangoose. And dude, we just had a bunch of crazy decks make it to the standings. So let's look at those deck lists, because those are the deck lists that are interesting. I don't think, okay, for example, we can go to the standings. We can look at these Suicune deck lists, dude, that we've been looking at for the last 3 weeks. Every tournament, there's a Suicune, there's a Darktina. All they do is change one different card. Nobody cares about them, bro. Nobody cares about them. So let's just go on to the actual interesting stuff. I'll look at Dragonite, dude, just to see if there's anything spicy. So let's just look on this Dragonite. Nope, it's the exact same Dragonite we've been looking at, bro. It's the same Sylveon one, bro. If you want it, here you go. It's the exact same one. Not even gonna mention it, bro, because we've already mentioned it like 2 times on the channel. However, if you haven't seen it, dude, here you go. It's probably the best Dragonite list that does exist. What I'm most interested in, dude, is going to be I guess I can look at the Buzzwole, bro. I can look at the Buzzwole. One did make top 8. Buzzwole I don't think is very good in this season. We can look at it just to look at it, because I'm kind of curious what the texts are, bro. What are the texts, bro? Are they playing anything spicy, or are they just playing the regular Buzzwole that we already know and true love? I'm assuming red Rocky Helmet. Before we look at the deck list, bro, let's look at the matches. All right, so they ended up losing the Suicune, and they beat every other deck because they didn't face Suicune, bro. Literally, bro. They did beat one in top cut, however, bro, so that is good for them. And then they unfortunately lost to Dragonite, which does make a lot of sense. I mean, you just don't do a lot of damage to Dragonite. Like the Pheromosa pings, you have to start stacking them on, and you have to not, like, the opponent basically has to get like a very slow Dragonite, dude, for Buzzwole to be able to win. Or them just like breaking, you know, sniping all the babies, like maybe sniping a Sylveon on it, bringing like Cyrus Pheromosa, or like Pheromosa and then Cyrus Buzzwole, something like that. But yeah, we can look at the deck list, dude. So yeah, all right. Red Rookie Helmet and Guzma. Red card. And only one Cyrus. One Cyrus is kind of interesting, but I kind of get it because you kind of want the hand disruption. You kind of want the Guzma and the red because both are pretty necessary. Because you, like you, for example, could have like the Rocky Helmet on the Buzzwole, they attack into you, and then you could use Guzma. Or you could just, you know, not have the Rocky Helmet, and then you, or like maybe even the Rocky Helmet plus the red. So a bunch of different ways to get to that 160 damage. So I kind of like it, bro. And I mean, we already look, dude, we've been talking about Buzzwole for like the past like what 3-4 seasons since ED Crisis. I think we've had enough Buzzwole. Let's move on to the actual Spice. And I think the first one I'm gonna see, bro, the first one I'm gonna see is going to be Magma Ferrara, bro, at 15th place with Skarmory EX. That's just insane work. First off, we actually figured out Skarmory on a different tournament, dude. So I'm gonna play that clip for you guys. So Skarmory just beat suicune. That's the answer. That's, dude, we just found the answer on stream. It works. Skarmory just beat suicune, bro. I mean, he lost the one, he beat 3 of them though. It's like, dude, everybody get the Skarmory EXs, bro. Get the Magernias, dude. Let's just go. Let's just sweep the ladder. Anyways, dude, just looking at their matches, they actually lost the the first 2 matches, and they didn't drop out, which is, I feel like, something that's actually kind of hard to do, because I feel like a lot of people go 0-2 and are like, okay, well, I gotta win like 4 more in a row just to make top cut, and a lot of people end up dropping. But he was like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna stick it out. I'm gonna play Skarmory EX because why not, dude? And they ended up making top cut, bro. They just won 4 in a row, bro, and they made top cut. They ended up beating one suicune in Swiss. They ended up beating another one. However, they did lose. One thing I've noticed is that Skarmory kind of like destroys Guzzler for some reason. Also, I don't know how the hell this guy even made it. I guess this guy, I don't know, bro. Like Silver, sure, you got it, bro. But let's just look at the deck list, bro. So this deck has no answers to Oricorio besides Rocket, Helmet, Stall. So that is something, bro. But obviously, like the Oricorio is just not attacked, dude. Yeah, so we have the, you know, the Jasmine, which lets Skarmory take -60 damage. You even have the surprisingly, they have no of the what's it called, bro? It's like the metal item. What is it called, bro? It's like, is it metal? It's that tool card, bro. It's still Apron, bro. I was close. Apron, Jacket, same thing, bro. And yeah, this is like the one that lets them take -10 damage, not as like affected by status conditions. They decided not to run it, just to play every other card. I mean, dude, it's just an 18 trainer card. I mean, they just have literally everything in the game. I think the only card that they're really missing is a silver, that you could argue, but like you don't really need that at the end of the day because fucking suicune dice draw the whole deck anyways, bro. Like a silver doesn't really do anything sometimes when they just have 2 copies. But yeah, dude, shout out to you making it to top 15 or just 15th place with Skarmory, dude. Honestly, kind of congrats on running in the no Oricorio. Obviously, Oricorio was on the downswing. This like kind of like meta where like not a lot of the electric decks are playing Oricorio besides like a select few. But yeah, dude, it's just cool to see these decks that can make you like, because usually like these are the type of decks that make top cut and then lose round 1. But we can see here, dude, from the matches, like they made top cut and then they won, I think 3 rounds, right? Yeah, they won 3 top cut rounds to actually end up making it all the way to the top 16. Surprisingly, they had a top 128 top cut. That's kind of interesting. I feel like usually they have top 64, but maybe because of low player count or something around, I don't know. But even if it did start top 64 like a regular one, they still won 2, which is very impressive for one of these type of decks. So once again, bro, shout out to you on Team Magma. You already know the next deck, bro. You already know the next deck, dude. We have Decidueye. I am a huge fan of Decidueye. We had 2 of them, bro. One made 36th place, so making it top 64, unfortunately losing in top 64. But we have this one making it all the way to 19th place, getting to the top 32. Holy, all right, okay. No disrespect, because this is sometimes how tournament goes. This is low-key a Mickey Mouse bracket, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Jumpluff, Zangoose, Savali Pichu was like kind of a deck, but that's like more of a last format deck. Ended up losing to Suicune, obviously the best deck. He Buzzwole, which I think Decidueye has actually always been good against Buzzwole because it's very easy for you to just snipe the back, dude. You can basically one-shot everything. And you know, obviously you have so much HP that like it's hard for the Buzzwole to come in and actually knock you out in one hit. And then obviously, you know, Dark Teen, grass type weakness to the Darkrai. Beat the Lucario Hitmontop, which I think also made top card or something, but it's just kind of crazy, dude. And then they beat Snorlax Darkrai, which kind of makes sense because you can just like, if you have the Naughty X Decidueye, you can just snipe all the stuff in the back while they may be using like a Snorlax in like the active spot or whatever. Although this one is like the baby one, so like I don't know, like I guess yeah, you can just like snipe something in the back, dude. And then they lost to Flareon. Not surprised, you know, Flareon can do heavy chunks of damage to the Decidueye. But yeah, this is just crazy, bro. It's literally a solo Decidueye thing with 1 Pheromosa, so you can do like maybe like a 1-1-2 line, maybe just a 1-2. And yeah, they chose both the forms of Rowlet, I guess, just for options. They also have 2 Dartrixes because, you know, like you rely on the rare candies, but like if you only have the rare candies, that's 2 copies out of 20. At least having 420, like 4 cards out of 20 to be able to go into a stage 1 or like eventually go into the Decidueye makes a lot of sense. So yeah, then the 2 Lilies, the 1 Erica. I guess I don't know if the 10 damage like maybe like matters in some situations in this meta, because, you know, it's been a long time. I haven't played Decidueye in this meta personally. I don't know, you know, because you are inconsistent, you have no draw support. The red over the How is like really cool because, you know, it can be used on your like non Decidueye EX Pokemon. So I kind of like that. I don't think How's actually that good in Decidueye. I think it benefits like Incineroar and Primarina better. However, it's just something, bro. And then like obviously the Pheromosa for the additional bench damage, you know, to access the Decidueye EX if you can't get it fast. Bro's cooking, bro. I'm gonna be honest. He's just cooking. A little bit of a Mickey Mouse bracket. I'm not gonna lie to you, but at the end of the day, sometimes that just happens in tournaments. I've had Mickey Mouse brackets and I made top 32, top 16. I'm not gonna deny that. It's just tournaments. Sometimes you just get those weird decks. We can even look at a mono dude. Oh wait, dude, this is the dude I think who ended up making top cut with the Pikachu back in a different Froggy X, dude, in the was it last format? Yeah, it was last format, dude, of Espeon. I'm pretty sure this is the same dude because I can't pronounce his name right or something. Shout out to you because he actually didn't have a Mickey Mouse bracket, because he actually, you know, faced a bunch of meta decks. However, it's a low-key, I guess you could claim it's a Mickey Mouse bracket for Decidueye because, you know, Decidueye's gonna farm those decks, which is hilarious, dude. And obviously, like, they tied up the suicune Greninja, but like, why play it out, bro, when you could just tie in, you know, like, guaranteed top cut? Very unfortunate. Like, they basically went undefeated, got the bye for top 64, and they did lose immediately to the top Rococo raikou, which is kind of understandable, bro, because that is a very fast aggressive deck. And, you know, Decidueye kind of wants like those slow decks sometimes that can take a little bit set up, because you want to set up, you know, your Decidueyes too. So I'm gonna assume that the top Rococo maybe just was able to sweep them. Obviously, I don't know for sure. But their deck list, let's see if it's the same one. Yeah, see, so this is like the deck list that I've seen more for like Decidueye. Because I started seeing this in Reg, it's like a more pure Decidueye. Like it literally 2 of every single basically Decidueye related card. Then you have the 2 Ericas, the 2 Lilies, and even the 1 potion. Just you basically have like max hills, and you basically just have solo Decidueye. I feel like I kind of like the other one that had the Pheromosa more, because I feel like it just gives you like another attacker. Because sometimes, you know, like with these decks, they are playing 1 Pokeball, which is interesting, dude, because, you know, you actually want to find the second one sometimes. So I feel like that's like an interesting like way to build the deck. Maybe they really wanted the potion, because maybe like using like an Erica Lily plus a potion really mattered in some situations. But I feel like the scary thing about playing these decks sometimes is you just like have the Rowlet, obviously, because you're guaranteed, and you just can't find the second, dude. So like maybe that's what even happened in Top Cut. Maybe that's how they lost. Maybe they just couldn't find the second one, and then Top Cut was able to sweep them because I couldn't evolve to get out of that 90 HP range fast enough. Anyways, dude, still congrats on like going undefeated in Swiss with the Decidueye deck, because it's a very cool deck, dude. Definitely not meta at all, or like maybe it's like an anti-meta thing now, but it's just cool to see. We had another Skarmory in 31st place, bro, but we already looked at that one. I'm assuming it's the exact same. I guess we could check it just to see if they were running like an Ori out. Yeah, so okay, so this is like the different one that is running an Ori out. This one is basically just running one of these in replace of a support card, just to be able to actually win against Ori. Let's see if was it actually useful. Let's see. Unfortunately, wasn't really useful, but they farmed. I mean, they lost to Dragonite, dude. Like Dragonite, how are you beating Dragonite if they get a Dragonite set up? You're not, dude. You just literally lose. And they lost to like Darkrai Arceus, which is a scam deck anyways, dude. But and obviously they lost to Darkina and Top Cut. But yeah, dude, they're definitely cooking, bro. Like, congrats on you. I don't think this was playing Ori. I guess we just checked. No, it was not playing Ori. So the Magernia obviously didn't matter, dude. But obviously it's a nice tech, and it's a nice way to get around the Ori, just to not have like an auto loss matchup. I think the last deck for Froggy X that I'm going to look at is going to be the Hitmontop deck. Oh, here it is. We have Hitmontop Lucario, which is like kind of cool. Because when I first saw Hitmontop, I thought it had a lot of potential, and I was playing one of these decks too, but I was playing out of Dawn Fan. And we can look at the matches. So they ended up beating 2 Suicunes. I mean, they lost to Suicune, bro, best deck in the game. They also lost to one in Top Guy, bro, unfortunately. Jumpluff Zangoose, I didn't even know really made top 64. I mean, I feel like we've already talked about that deck before, like day 1. And yeah, I mean, they lost to Decidueye. Kind of makes sense, you know. Decidueye, like, you can't really kill it, dude, unless you get like a Rampardos like pretty early, because you have the Erica, the Lilies, and basically anything but the Rampardos doesn't really do any damage. Then you have the Giratina Darkrai that they were able to beat. Dude, it's just a cool deck. It's just like a fighting sandbox deck. I really like Hitmontop because it's the same thing as Pheromosa. The only downside of Hitmontop, bro, which I really don't like, is that it has a 2 retreat cost. Because I think this card could be so good, dude. I think this card could be so good if it had a 1 retreat cost. It would actually, I feel like, be like twice as good. Unfortunately, bro, they love giving these fighting types 2 or 3 costs, bro. We've seen on Sudowoodo, we've seen on Lucario. But, you know, obviously, like, a 40 damage to the active with the Lucario maybe on the bench, and then the 20 to the Sniper was just extremely strong, especially when you maybe are attacking someone that's weak to fighting. Well, I don't know what's really weak to fighting besides, like, these EVs, for, you know, for the Flareon deck. And I think there's something else that's weak to fighting in this meta, bro. Like, stuff like Arceus, I guess, can be extremely strong, you know, plus just Rampardos with Lucario. Besides that, they chose to play Guzma over Red because, you know, sometimes, like, there's, like, those non-EX Pokemon that have, some like HP like over like 160 that Rampardos wouldn't be able to one-shot. And then obviously like the Mars, you need hands. You almost need Mars in like every deck this format, dude, just because everybody just draws so many cards. And then besides that, you know, Giant Cape, Rare Candy, the one Cyrus over the Sabrina, because it makes sense because you have the Hitmontop, so you like Cyrus should like almost be active every time. Sometimes they also might swap out after maybe getting attacked by Lucario. So I think it's the deck that's cooking, dude, and I think that does it for the Froggy X tournament. So let's move over to the Jeudy Coliseum and let's see what Spicy Dex was able to make top cut in that. Alright, we're on to the next tournament, bro. Top Cut hasn't concluded yet because Top Cut is tomorrow. I still want to look at the standings. This was a 7 Swiss rounds, best of 3. If you made 5 wins, dude, you got guaranteed. So either 5 wins or 4 wins and 3 ties, dude, because, you know, 15 points. First off, before I even, let's just go to the metagame first. I just want to get this out of the way, bro. I didn't even talk about it in the last tournament, bro, because, yeah, but, where is it, bro? I need to find it. 2 Espeon players, bro. We had one that did terrible, bro. We had one that made top cut. You want to know who made top cut, bro? This is the boy Genjutsu, bro. One of the OG viewers, bro. One of the regulars in my chat. Shout out to you, man. Honestly, bro. Well, dude. Okay, so I came home and I saw in the Discord, dude, they were typing that they were basically 4-2. And I went to the standings, dude, or not the standings, I went to the pairings. I saw they were 1-0 up on the Dark Tina, dude. And I was like refreshing my phone like every 2 minutes, dude. I saw that they were 1-1. They ended up making it, dude. They ended up clutching. They beat 3 Dark Rallies, dude. 3 Dark Tinas, which is a bad matchup for Espeon still. I do not care. Obviously, you can't beat them with the 1-1-2 line, bro. It's still a bad matchup for fucking Espeon, bro. It's still definitely favorite Dark Tina. Honestly, they lost the suicune match twice. They still beat one, bro. They still beat one. They beat a Dragonite, bro. They made top cut. Let's look at the deck list, bro, because honestly, I'm pretty sure they said they made this deck list right before the tournament, bro, and started playing, which is amazing. I love when someone can just do that, bro. Yeah, dude. Okay, standard Espeon list. The only difference, they did something that the Dark Tina players are doing, bro. The Japanese players are doing. They're playing the three hand rips, bro. They have the red card, the silver, and the Mars. So there were like 3 traditional Espeon builds. If you guys were playing last season, there was the one that I used for the Ursies. There was the double silver that Sarlar was using, and then there was kind of like the Japanese one with the double giant cape, and I think it was Mars. It was double giant cape Mars instead of red card and silver. And he basically took out the Sabrina. He added the Mars for the 3rd hand disruption. It makes a lot of sense, for hand disruption is very powerful against stuff like Suicune and Dark Tina. So having like the red card option, something KOs, and then you also have the Mars, makes a lot of sense, dude, in my eyes, to be able to do it, bro. Obviously, it speaks to itself. As honestly, Espeon fucking sucks, dude. Espeon, oh, dude, Espeon makes me so mad, dude, because I love that deck. I love that deck, and it's bad. I know some of the Japanese players, bro, on Twitter are basically gassing the deck up, saying it's still like a tier 1 deck. No, it is not, bro. They're lying. Psyops, bro. I do not care. Every single tournament, dude, besides the first week, has almost seen 0 top cut Espeons, dude. And the ones that do squeeze in always lose right away. Like, yeah, the first week, bro, we had Keisu with the amazing 4th place. We had the other dude, I forget his name, bro, with the 2nd place. After the first week, we haven't seen Espeons, dude. So the fact that Genjutsu was able to make top cut, dude, in this 300-person tournament, dude, with Espeon, man, honestly, I'm hella proud, dude. Congrats. And you really earned it, bro. You simply are just played better. But now let's go to the metagame, bro. Let's go to the metagame and let's see what happened. It makes sense, bro. It makes sense. We have Suicune Greninja at the top. We have Dark Tina. We have the Guzz. We have the Flareons. We have 9 Decidueyes, bro. We have 9 Decidueyes. I don't know where this deck is coming from, bro, but it's just here, man. Apparently, I gotta play this deck. Low key, I need to play this deck next time I play the game, because big fan of Decidueye, bro. And we had a couple Skarmories. Definitely didn't do as good as the last time with only 42 compared to the 4 that had like a 50 to 60%. Buzzwole surprising has a good run percentage, bro, this time compared to the other one. Dragonite's obviously very low. And but this is a whole tournament, bro. Let's see what happened in Top Cut. What a surprise! Suicune Greninja, dude, Dark Tina, and then Guzz, all the same, man. Obviously, you know, there's no win percentage because it hasn't started yet. 4 out of the 7 Decidueyes have made it, bro. Insane. Just insane. Then, you know, we have the Raikou Tapus. We have the two Buzzwoles. We have the electric. We have the bunch of electric decks, bro. We have the two Flareons. We have the Dragonite, bro. The Dragonite. So I bet you the Dragonite makes top 8. They always one Dragonite always just makes top 8, bro, in these tournaments this season because just yes. We have a second one's like I think this is the Cleffa version maybe. Yeah, so somebody wants the deck list that isn't the Sylveon version. This is like the second best one. They are playing Oricorio, which is actually very not traditional. I'm guessing they were just playing pure electric with the two main types, obviously. And yeah, the Cleffa. This is just a different way to play it. We could even see what they ended up beating. Interesting. Usually, you know, they beat Suicune, probably just the Dragonite. That's the problem. Besides that, they just kind of farmed everything else. They also, I'm assuming they just bricked on the Guzzlord, bro. Or the Guzzlord got a really huge Grindcore, maybe. Because that's like the main way Guz can actually win against Dragonite. Because if you get a Dragonite, bro, like he's kind of like GG's. But yeah, dude, let's just go to the standings. We've already looked at Espeon. Let's just look at the actual cool decks. Like if we look at some more of the Decidueye. Actually, Umbreon, bro. These Umbreon's always squeezed in, bro. But I don't get it, bro. Because I played this deck myself. It looks like almost the exact same one as the one we showcased, like I think like a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks at this point. Umbreon is just doing his thing, man. It's really just doing its thing. I think this is almost the exact same list. I think they have a leaf instead of something else, but I think I wanted to put the leaf into the one I tried, and we can see the matchups. Like I just don't get it, bro. Like they beat two Suicunes. I just don't get it. All right, hold up, bro. They actually had like the stage. They had the basic bracket, bro. They had the two Suicunes, the Arceus. They had the Mickey Mouse Rampardos, and then they had the Guzzlord. They obviously lost to Flareon. Makes a lot of sense. Flareon will just sweep through this deck, and I don't really think you could do anything fast enough unless you go like second Umbreon EX. And maybe like Giant Cape, and then they beat literally a deck full of the basic Pokemon. So it makes a lot of sense how they were able to make top cut, dude. Congrats, because I do think Umbreon, even though like it kind of is favorable for the non-EX Umbreon, I still think the deck is shit, bro. I'm gonna be dead ass. I don't think the deck is good. I tried it myself, and maybe that's just a skill issue, bro. Maybe I'm just bad at playing Umbreon, but I honestly really hate the deck. So congrats on you for making it, man. Because honestly, it's not easy, bro. It's not easy. We just have a bunch of Guzzers, bro. We've already known about this. Like we have the top. I'm not even gonna click on the electric decks, bro. I'm sick of them. Let's take a look at the Decidueye EX deck. So this is gonna be from Froggy X Arca. It is gonna be the exact same as the one from the last time, except they're not playing Potion. They're playing Pokemon for that extra consistency. One Pokeball seems to be a thing. A lot of these, you know, two biggest. I don't know, man. I agree and I don't agree, because obviously, you know, you only have one Pokemon. Like sometimes like two Pokeballs could be useless because you could just open two Rowlets and then two, you know, you have two dead cards. At the same time, my luck is I just would never find the second Rowlet, dude, or even the Pokeballs, bro. So I understand why they're playing one Pokeball like the other list we looked at, but you know, just my luck and my personal experience, I know I would fucking brick, dude. Anyways, shout out to you, man. Let's like look at what they beat. And all right, they beat Suicune Ori, which is 8 deck. They beat two Suicunes, or they beat one Suicune. They actually ended up beating Silvzera, which is actually interesting, because I think Silvzera is a very bad matchup for Decidueye, because I think Silvally, you know, going second is just way faster than what you can do, even with the Ericas, even with the Lilies and stuff like that. Plus, you also can one-shot it of Decidueye, because, you know, max damage you could do is 80. And, you know, unless you have like a previous hit. So the fact that they were able to beat that, dude, especially in a best of 3, bro, congrats. That's actually really impressive. I'm gonna be honest, that's really impressive. Then Dartina Suicune, you know, like the thing is, like Decidueye can't snipe the Froakies, bro. And then you snipe a Froakie, you just have to get like a non-EX Decidueye, bro, snipes a Froakie. Then you just have to snipe something twice, dude, or like have a Decidueye in the back to get the finishing 100 below, and something on the bench like an EX Giratina or a Suicune. So yeah. Congrats on making top cut. I hope they do go far, because I do want to see this Decidueye build pop off. There are 4 of them, bro. There's 4 Decidueyes in top cut. One of them got to make top 8. One of them got to make top 16, bro. One of you guys got to do it, bro. I believe. We've already talked about Espeon. I think that's low-key might be it for the spicy decks. I think everything else we've already seen. I can just look through the 5-2s again. Yeah, I think that's it, dude, for the spicy decks. That's just it. It's just Decidueye is like aura farming in these tournaments okay. Questions: is Decidueye actually good? Like, is it an actual good anti-meta deck in like a best of 3 scenario, because you have less chances, or like you have more chances in case you break one game? Or are we just at the point where like people just don't want to play Suicune or like Dartina because like it's the end of the format in like a week, and people were just trying to play fun decks? Obviously, like it is performing. It has a high win rate. Like I said, 4 of them made 5-2, or just maybe like different like top cuts. So congrats to them, man. That's all I could say. So very interesting. I think that does it for the video, bro. Once again, shout out to Genjutsu, man, the GOAT, the Espeon GOAT. I fucking hope you win this shit, man. Obviously, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a tough battle, bro, because you are gonna be placing these actual meta decks, and you're playing that low tier Espeon. Peace out, have a lovely day, and let me know which deck was your favorite that I talked about in this video.